insecure. Oh, I'm just joking. Is she insecure? Is she insecure? Hmm. Advertisers. There's World War III started. You're sounding psychotic. America. What the fuck are y'all doing? Okay, all right. Let me simmer down. Let me simmer down. All right. Well, I hope that is clear enough for the AI to copy. Okay. Welcome on in. Take a seat at the table. Take a seat around the campfire. Pull up a pew. That's the thing in church. So the channel message today is, when will y'all start listening to the sages? We cannot wait another age. If you're unaware, America has started World War III. Yeah, America. 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 Home of the slave. Oh, 20th century. Let's just wait till someone's brave enough to come into the room. Come on now. Don't be scared. It's just revolution. It's just a sage, just an oracle talking about. What's the matter? Can the AI not pick me up good enough? No. Is that better? Is that better? Is that better? Is that going to get enough attention? Oh, welcome on in. How are you going? Okay, do we have any Americans in the room today? I am gagging, dying to know. How's that? Does that look good? Hi, 13. That's a good number. Apparently, that's got something to do with the moon cycles and the demonizing of women. Should we say women's knowledge, women's skills? Clearing the throat chakra. So today I'm going to talk about, I'm going to start with a story time. Oh, look. Just dropped from 13 to 9. Welcome on in. Do we have any Americans in the room today? I'm dying to know. I'm in Australia, so-called Australia. Right. Are there any Americans in the room today? I would really, really love to know. I believe the chat is open. Hi. It's just me. It's just me, guys. Hi. Are you American? I'm dying to know if there's any Americans in the room today. Oh, I can't see what that is. Sorry. Okay, so when will you start listening to sages? I'm going to start this very casual, open-hearted live stream here at Codes of Harmony with a story about another YouTube creator. So this is a YouTube creator who makes so many videos, has huge numbers. He's a man, from what I understand. He identifies as a man. He's a black man. He's an American. Hi. Oh, you must be American. You've got American in your title, so you must be American. Or are you not American? I'd love to know. Yes. How are you going today? How are you feeling? And are you in the army? Are you a God bless America? Mm, you're feeling great. What part of America are you in? And thank you for sharing. If it's your first time at this channel, I am a sage. I am an oracle and a tarot reader, of course. So I don't know what that means. What part of America are you in? And are you in the army? Because I feel like I want to know. I want to know if I'm talking to somebody who's in the army. Like to be respectful and considerate, and also have a good conversation with you. You're in New Jersey, and you're not in the army. Thank you for sharing. Right. Your sister is okay. Do you mind, and only share what you feel like safe and okay to share? Is she actively in the army at the moment? Like, is she deployed anywhere? Do you mind if I ask? Oh, it just suddenly got so hot in here. That's part of what oracles and sages do. Like, we can feel what you're feeling. It's quite a trippy job to have, to be honest. Kinda. Okay, that's understandable. You don't want to share too much. She's at a base in Alaska. Wow. I didn't even know there was a war happening in Alaska. Or maybe that's in preparation for something, maybe? Thank you for being here. Because it's really, like, it's very, no, not really. So there's not like an active war happening in Alaska. Yeah, it's just very, so like before I even had a telephone, before I even had YouTube, the social media even existed, I've had premonitions of this time, like since I was born. Russia is playing games but calming down. Okay, cool. Playing games. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure what you mean by that. But Russia, like Russia in connection to Alaska. You said Alaska, didn't you? Yeah, Alaska. I've been thinking to look into how many army bases are actually like American army base. I'm guessing she's at an army base. I'm guessing that she's at an American army base. And it's really complex talking about the army because, um, like, it's just very interesting when you're an oracle and a sage who lives with past life memories and past life knowledge, whether it's conscious, in the forefront of your mind or not. It really is like, that song that's like, it's all just a little bit of history repeating. They are flying fighter jets near Alaska. Oh, maybe she's training. Maybe she's doing a training program. Because I know that they have lots of international training programs. America, that is. I went to America once when I was quite young. I think I was like 13, actually, when I went to America. And I remember it seeming very big and very loud and very layered with memories, like very, very densely layered. As an oracle, as a sage, it's I remember feeling a lot of things. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for sharing. Um, and God bless you, God bless you and your sister. And that's the really difficult thing about WAR is that there's the individual soldiers, there's the individual pilots, there's the individual, and then there's the collective, you know. Thanks, darling. Yeah, so I've had premonitions of this time since I was born. And um it's just, as a sage right now, it's very hard not to feel kind of a my sister is in the army, not Air Force. Sorry, please forgive. Um, oh, you were saying that, yeah. You were talking about Russia. I got it. Sorry, you were saying Russia is flying jet planes, right? Do you know anybody who is in the Middle East at the moment? Because often people who have like one family member in the army, often they'll have multiple family members in the army. You know, like sometimes it's something that people do to honor their parents or their grandparents. I also know a lot of people. Great to talk to you, but I have to go and no. Okay, great to talk to you too. Um, I'm trying to see your picture. Yeah, so I also know that there's huge incentives to join the army, to join the Air Force, to join the Navy. Like, I know a lot of people who don't have money, for example, or don't have a, a, a good education, people that might not have made it through high school, um, people that are seeking a purpose in life, that kind of thing. I know that that's also a draw card, quote unquote draw card, for going into the armed forces. Oh, you're still here. Um, have you ever had a tarot reading? If you're still here, oh, there you go. Oh well. Yeah, so I guess I'll continue with the story I was saying. So there's this YouTube content creator. Hi, how you going? Thank you for being here. Um, are you American by any chance? Are you Australian? What part of the world are you in or from? I'm using my Simpsons cup today. The Simpsons, like a whole crowd. Hmm. Thanks for being here. Um, I'm not sure where that is. Sorry. Tijuana, maybe. What other countries? I'm not sure. But thank you for being here. God bless you, of course, or whatever you believe in. Maybe you're a Muslim. Are you a Muslim by any chance? Oh, I'm in so-called Australia. I'm Aboriginal. We're the oldest surviving culture in the world. Obviously, I'm not only Aboriginal or Koori, which is our word for it, for identifying ourselves. I have much lineage from many places in the world as well. Um, Anyways, yeah, so this other YouTube content creator, he is like, I've been watching his videos for some time, and I know that he's like African American, but I'm not sure what other lineages he holds or carries. I know that he's in a mixed race relationship um, with a Caucasian woman. And I know he has huge numbers, like giant numbers. And okay, all right. Well, this isn't a love reading. Sorry. Have you had a tarot reading before? Maybe you need a tarot reading. Anyway, so this other content creator, like, I liked his work because he was um very honest. It seemed like he was very honest, and he was very, like, obviously quite smart and very entertaining, very, charismatic. Okay. I've got 9 fingers. Does that change anything for you? Have you ever dated somebody who's an amputee? Actually, a lot of people who go into the armed forces end up as amputees. 4 fingers? What does that mean? Oh, is this a date? Oh, you're still interested, even though I only have 3 fingers and 1 thumb on here? A stalker took my finger. Yeah, I've had problems with stalkers for a really long time. Oh, I have to charge my phone. Where is my charger? Oh, message held for review. Oh, well, I guess the date's not going very well, is it? Yeah. See, that's the thing about these little things. You only see what is shown to you, right? Anyways, thanks for being here. Yeah. So, this other content creator, I liked his work, even though I think I felt like he was the only person I was, like, quote unquote following here at YouTube, who, like, boldly identified as a gamer, like somebody who plays video games. Clearing the throat chakra. And I thought he was, like, kind of cool, even though, like, a little bit over analytical, and sometimes said things that I could tell were just for shock factor. And I've seen him watching my videos before, right? Like this. And um and then one day I just had this inclination, I guess, like, you could call it like a sage intuition, oracle intuition, to go and look at his post here on YouTube. And he's got multiple channels as well, huge following, like a massive following. And it's interesting because, black people, um, traditionally, like, if you go back in your lineage, like in Africa, um, people are very aware of magic and the gifts of quote unquote witch doctors or shamans, medicine women, medicine men, medicine folk, healers, right? Um, Obviously, I understand that there's also a conversation that happens around identity when it comes to being somebody who is in Africa, who is born in Africa, who's African, and then someone being African American. And it's interesting because I saw this other YouTube creator talking about how all of their lineage and DNA, according to one of those tests, actually came from, well, took place in America, but that was a different YouTube creator. I can't remember their names. You'll have to forgive. Anyway, so I went and looked at his post, even though I know he watches my channel, right? And I'm a sage. I'm an oracle. I'm somebody who knows full well that magic is the most important, original, powerful, ancient, and always contemporary technology that we have. And he had made this post, this kind of like really disturbing, really gross, kind of creepy and very disrespectful post about tarot readers, about sages. And he had actually gone out of his way to go and quote unquote pretend to be a tarot reader. And he sat somewhere in his city in America, wherever he is. And like set up a little table and pretended to do my job, right? Pretended to be someone like me who has gifts. Clearing the throat chakra. Oh, are you the person whose comment was just held for review? Do you want to reword it? Let me just get my charger. I'll be right back. Just put that here. It's grey. I don't know what. They reckon that grey was a very big colour for communists, like Stalin grey, I think they call it. Where is my charger? Gosh, I do lose things a little bit. But maybe that's because, as a sage, as an oracle, I'm having to feel the energy of so many, right? And I'm pretty sure that sages and oracles have definitely had our businesses very much impacted by apps like YouTube. Like, why would people go and pay for a tarot reading in person when they can just go on one of these apps, Okay, let me see. How can I do this in a way that's going to work for you and me? Let me see. I'll just put up a little thing so you all don't get too distracted. Is that good? Is that good? Is that any good? Yeah, I'll just put that there for a moment. A moment in time, I just heard. Okay, is that going to work for you? You're welcome to share your YouTube channel as well if you'd like. Good sir. If you've got a YouTube channel, of course. Sorry to hear that you're single. Although at this stage in the world, it's like, what's our focus? What's our priority, right? I have been thinking recently, like, we can't be judging men based on whether they are dating or like making love to anyone. That just perpetuates a very dangerous cycle, you know. Like you're not just body parts. You're not stock horses or something. Let me see. Let me just make sure. Thank you for your patience. Okay. Can I plug the phone in there? Let me see. Oh. Sorry, I didn't expect this. Hold up. Here we go. Oh no, that's the wrong charger. Hold on. What should I do? Should I? Let me just clearing the energy. Oh, big energy. Isn't it funny how they make these chargers like they just don't seem to last as long like the charger on your phones as they used to. Do you find that? I find that very much so. I wonder if I just did this. Oops. Oh, I hope that my phone battery doesn't die. Hold on. There we go. Oof. Okay, there we go. I'd love to know, are you still there, sir? Hold on. Thank you so much for your patience. There we go. Hi. I've actually had really bad problems with, don't take any offense, but I've had really bad problems with stalkers before, as we discussed, you know. So I was advised not to give out any of my social media to people that I don't know, like personally. Please don't take offense to that, of course. Anyway, so this other content creator, yeah, he basically went and tricked people, like fooled people. He pretended like he faked being a sage. And so I don't know if he was trying to do like an experiment or prove his point. I don't really understand. Like maybe he dated somebody who was magic who hurt him or something. I don't know what his gripe was or is with us. And it was extra weird because I've seen him watching my videos, you know. And he was like, his post said something about, I pretended to be a tarot reader, and I was just reading people's body language and telling them what they wanted to hear. And 86% of those people, and I'm not quoting verbatim, believed that I was I was a real tarot reader, and like it was just so offensive. And I was thinking, like, that person has thousands and thousands of followers, and is like getting paid by YouTube to like talk and I guess do gaming, like video gaming. Um, and obviously, I think they also probably have TikTok. They probably have all these different apps, right? And I was like, why did that person do that? I was like, why would he go out of his way to, first of all, harm fuck with the money of oracles and sages? And it's like, if you don't believe in magic, then that's your choice. But why would you use your platform to um try and convince people that tarot reading isn't real, especially because tarot reading's been around for hundreds of years. Divination is what we actually call it. So you can do divination with all different things. You can do it with runes, for example, which has been recorded hundreds of years before that. I don't know, maybe he's got some heritage connected to that even. I know that in Africa and all the different parts of Africa, there are different forms of divination. Some people throw bones on the ground and read the bones. Some people will read tea leaves, right? So that's a very big thing that's connected to Asian culture, and not just Asian. I believe that might be connected to Persian culture as well, of different ways of doing divination. And of course, like I always had channeled messages coming through. Every person I've spoken to in my life now, I can see I was receiving um, spiritual messages. I don't like using the word download because I'm not a computer, right? Anyways, although I guess that talks about messages coming from God or from heaven, from Allah. Allah, depending on your accent, of course. Or I don't know, Freya, or um, Krishna, or I know some people might even believe in the darker, more underground, underworld gods, deities, beings, whatever, you know. But some people just talk about it like source, primary source, spirit. Yeah, so I guess downloading is also meant to be about taking that message from the heavens. And yeah, and then of course, like he was encouraging other people to bully oracles and sages as well. And it's funny because I think he made that post quite some like months ago now, but I didn't see it. So I was watching his videos, me, a sage and oracle, contributing to his numbers, commenting even, especially when he made videos talking about the struggles that he's going through personally. And he talks a lot about his family member that's disabled, which is interesting because I'm disabled too. Not just this, I have multiple disabilities. And I've even commented on his videos supporting him, and sent him prayers and healing. Um, and when I do that, there's always a spiritual coding, I guess you would say, of people only receiving it if part of their being and their soul wants to receive healing and prayers. But you can pray for people without it being an intrusion on their energy. Like some people might be praying for America right now. I think somebody said that before. God bless America. Um, yeah, so I was like, Wow, why is he watching my videos if he doesn't believe in magic? And I don't know if he says I don't know if he would describe himself as not believing in God as well. And God's a word, God's an English term that was spread via missionaries across the world. Aboriginal people of so-called Australia, our word for God is Bayami. So I often pray to Bayami, right? But we're talking about the same thing, really, but not the same thing, I guess you could say. Yeah, so anyways, his videos have become a little bit more chaotic, and some videos he really sounds like he's talks about not going through a good time, and I think, gosh, you know what he could use? A tarot reading or divination, whatever form. Like if he went to Africa, maybe someone would throw some bones for him, you know. If he went to Scandinavia, Norway, someone might throw some runes for him to help him. If he went to China, or maybe Japan. Did you know that Japan was invaded and colonized by China? And the original peoples of Japan are the Ainu, the indigenous peoples of Japan. Yeah, if he went there, someone might read his tea leaves, right? Let me see. Let me just make sure I'm working with bilateral beats because it helps activate two sides of your brain. Oh, let's wait for someone else to come into the room. It's so much more fun. Oh, hi, how are you going? Are you American? Or Middle Eastern by any chance? Are you American? I'm dying to know. Oh, I was actually just talking about China and Japan. Hi, how are you going today? We're just talking about how people try and discredit and not believe sages, oracles. And it feels like the world really needs saving. How are you going? Would you like to be part of the conversation? This is Codes of Harmony, like the space we're in. I'm Willow, like the tree. Okay, no pressure, of course, to talk or write, right? So I was very surprised to see this post that he had made, this man, this American man. And not just that he'd written it as an opinion, like he wasn't presenting it like it was his opinion. He was very much speaking to his followers, right? Like, I'm not saying he's a cult leader or anything. I'm just saying, um, you know, when you have a platform and you have followers, particularly hundreds or thousands of followers, you have a big responsibility because those people are listening to you and looking to you. At least I think it's a very important responsibility. I don't take it lightly. Um, regardless of how much the algorithm allows. Oh, lavender might be important. Lavender could be important. I don't know if you can see that. Don't know if you can see that. Yeah. So it made me sad to think how he has been cut off from his own magic, and how the idea of divination being real is something that bothered him, or he disagreed with, or he was angered by, or annoyed by, to the point of going out into the streets and setting up a table and chairs and pretending to be a sage. Um, and I don't know if he told the people after that he was just pretending. And I guess, like, you could say it was like lying, but he describes it as reading their body language, which a lot of people can do. Like, a lot of salesmen, like people who advertise things, or salesmen, do that. I guess a psychologist could do that as well. And recently I've been seeing a lot of people talking about trauma survivors learning to read people's body language, which makes sense too, right? And I guess people in the army, like people in the armed forces, probably also know how to read body language if sometimes they're in a loud place and they can't hear each other, you know, or they have to do like the hand signal stuff. Um, or they're in somebody else's land where people don't speak the language that they speak. They would have to learn to read the body language of the people who they were colonizing or helping, you know, depending on how you cut it, right? Let me put the kettle on. Polly, put the kettle on, kettle on, kettle on. Polly, put cereal. Polly, put the kettle on, kettle on, kettle on. Polly, put the kettle on, and then we'll all have calling in protection. Right? Calling in protection. Maybe you have a YouTube channel. Maybe you have a TikTok following. Maybe you're a leader. Something about broad shoulders. Yeah, maybe you're a leader of some sort, right? Because there's leaders that are on the macro scale. Like, you have leaders who are like the leaders of countries, whole countries. And then you have leaders that are like the leaders of, you know, a church group, a sports team, right? Maybe you study psychology. Maybe you are in the armed forces. I also think that a similar anger and frustration must be being felt by sages, oracles, mystics, tarot readers, those with divination skills, must be felt by historians too, because historians are like, hey, we have documentation of what's happened in the past, right? Like that whole thing about if you don't understand your past, you're destined. Like, your destiny is to repeat it. I think that's how the saying goes. I was reading a book. I'm reading this amazing book at the moment. And it speaks about, like, the incredible author speaks about a school project that they did. And so that was when Bill Clinton had that sex scandal thing happen, right? Or did. He did that thing. That thing happened in America. And there's this line that caught me off guard, which was basically, they spoke about impeaching him then, which is interesting considering everything happening now. And what was I saying? Oh yeah, and then there's a line in the book that speaks about how America bombed Pakistan, claiming that they had weapons of MASS destruction. And I was like, really? I don't remember that happening. I can't believe that happened. But I was also, a lot younger when that happened, when the Bill Clinton thing happened. And I was like, that's so wild. And then I'm like, then they said something about some people were saying that it was as a distraction that they were saying Pakistan. It's like, Pakistan, has Pakistan ever said that they had? And I'm like, then it made me think about The Boy That Cried Wolf, right? And The Boy That Cried Wolf, if you don't know the story, it's about a boy that lied, right? A little boy that lied and went into the this isn't verbatim, even though it's an old story. That he went into the forest, or he went out of the village away from his family, and claimed that he saw a wolf, or a wolf was coming. And I feel like they must have been able to hear it because he yelled it, hollered it. And the whole village came running. And I think twice he lied about it. I can't even remember why at this stage. And then the third time, when a wolf actually did come and he actually was in danger, people heard his call and they thought it wasn't real. They were like, oh, that's just that boy crying wolf again, right? I'm like, how many countries is America actually accused of having those things? I made a bit of artwork out of this image that I screenshotted from a news channel that's here in so-called Australia. And I was looking at the graphics because I'm an artist as well, as a Oracle Sage medium healer, right? Helping people heal. I was looking at this graphic and I was like, what's that about? Oh, not the writing down here. I made this writing down here. So just ignore that. The poetry that I put at the bottom. But do you see this? That looks, when you first look at it, it looks like it's part of this person's outfit. This is the leader, who I believe is not with us anymore, right? I could look at the news today. But like, just as an artist and a curator, the choice of this image, of all the images, when you first look at it, and this is a close-up, but when you first look at it, it looks like it's part of his outfit. And people who don't know anything about Middle Eastern culture may assume that it's like part of the outfit. I don't know. It's a very, very strange image to choose. And then I think over here it might be the current American president. And then they've got this red. It's almost like a mashup. Like, when DJs do a mashup, or like, I guess on TikTok you can do a mashup as well, of images. I believe here might be Iran, I'm guessing. And then this is like something similar to the American flag, but with this silhouette of a missile or a fighter jet, right? Coming down towards someone who's now dead, who's not with us anymore, and they've posted this after. It's on a really big national channel that's right down here called ABC, big Australian media company, right? And I was just looking at it for a while. I was like, what is that about? Like, is this news? Or is it a cartoon? Oh, by the way, I found out the other day you can watch Nickelodeon on TV now. I used to watch lots of Nickelodeon when I was in hospital as a kid. And teenager, let's be honest. And it's so important, like I was just saying about what you put on your platform is important. The same goes for news channels, right? So we've got the green, got the red, we've got the white, and then a little star of blue just shining in there. And if you know anything about religion, spirituality, Gnostic texts, then you know some of this symbology is very important. Like blue, like stars. I just heard Bethlehem. That would be wild if this was a picture of Bethlehem. The other day I imagined what would happen if I gave a tarot reading to the current American president. I was like, I wonder if he believes in oracles. Because not long ago in our shared collective history, kings and queens wouldn't make any moves without talking to their sage, to their oracle, right? Not saying that they were always good people, because anyone could be tempted by gold, right? It takes a strong person to resist that kind of temptation. Let's wait for someone to come into the room, because I'm interested in having conversations. Who wants to be in a silo, right? Or an echo chamber? Something about an echo chamber? Something about the sky? Maybe your name is Sky? Oh god, the advertising just suddenly came on. I haven't signed into my account on this other channel, on my other phone, you know. Oh, can you see it? Oh, that's interesting. Like I hold it like this. Yeah, so I haven't signed in on this other phone, you know. And so because I haven't signed in to an account, because it's a different number, right? They just keep putting advertising on when I'm listening to meditations and stuff. It's not very calming. But hey, what you gonna do, right? I've never been materialistic, you see? I just have good fashion. Always from op shops, pretty much always from op shops. Although I do have a court date coming up. real, like a brand new outfit for. But then it's like, I don't know, can the judge tell if my outfits are from op shops? You know, like, that would be wild. Imagine if there was a judge that was also like an oracle. That would be wild. I guess in lots of other countries there are. And in some countries, they're not even like some countries have presidents, some countries have prime ministers, and then other countries have like royalty still, you know? And that's a whole different vibe. I don't know, did America ever have kings and queens? Oh, come on, come on, come on in. Take a seat, pull up a pew. Even a blanket in the park will do. I realize all the music I've ever put out on the internet has been on an American channel or site. Isn't that weird to think about? And my music has always had a bit of a, like, you know, conscious undertone. Even before this whole, like, collective awakening that we're experiencing together. Maybe I should change that. Should I change that? What? Oh, this is from this, like, amazing documentary I watched on another content creator's site, and they were talking about Cabbage Patch babies, or like the history of like adoption. What's it called? Ooh. Ooh. Ah, ah. I wonder if there ever was another site or option that I could have released music on. Or radio, right? That's funny because ABC also has a radio station. They're pretty major over here. Ooh, ah. Part of the problem, you hear a lot of people talk about empaths and narcissists online, you know, and the thing is, when you're an empath, you really do feel the feelings of other people. Did I put honey in this? And when you're a healer as well, you really just want to help people heal. I mean, most healers. I know there are some content creators on here that claim to be healers, but they're not. They just know that they can get big numbers because a lot of people really need healing. Oh, hi, welcome on in. Hi, welcome to the conversation. Are you American by any chance? Oh, or Australian? Maybe you're in the Middle East. Oh, I'm also asking. Oh, you're gone. Oh, wow. Ooh. So it's very difficult being an oracle and a sage who has had premonitions of this time since I was born. And I've tried to warn people, and they were like, oh, don't wreck my party. Don't wreck the joke. Don't wreck the fun. You know? I also have Scottish ancestry. When will you have seen enough? When will you're all us listen to the same? Oh, I don't mean to cause a fuss. Pretty sure I've been a spy in a few lifetimes. Ooh, is the advertisement gonna? Oh, there's an advertisement. Bam, bam. Right on time. What have we got? Oh, this is this incredible, like these beautiful photographs that I found around the period of time that they were quote unquote given their freedom by the UK, right? Look at this fashion. Look how beautiful, right? So gorgeous. And I love the haircut vibe. There's another advertisement. Sorry, if you're just joining us, I haven't signed in on this phone, on my other phone. Oh, you can't see that. Whoa, that's so weird. That's like art right there. Ooh, when will it be enough? When will you have seen enough? When will you start listening to the sages, the mystics, the healers? We've been trying to heal you for ages. We cannot afford another age. And who do you deny at this stage? Working with bilateral music could be helpful. Look at this. What a queen. What a goddess. So beautiful. I love the way she's done her makeup in this. I love where her necklace hangs in her decoupage. Is that right? Decoupage? No. Decoupage is when you cut out paper, like make collages. That's a French word. What is this again? What do you call this? Décolletage. I can't remember. Anyways, look, it looks so beautiful. I love the sleeves here, like this little ruffled sleeves that softens the neckline. Her hair is so perfectly styled, just so beautiful. And this lip line, like the lip line is gorgeous. Her eyes are stunning. So beautiful. And she's got gorgeous curves. In the Renaissance, they used to call that voluptuous, and all of the artists they wanted models, I should say, muses, models who were more curvaceous. So it's only been in our rather recent history, I guess you could say, since the 70s going into 80s, that there's been such a hyper focus on being very thin. Someone might have a TikTok account here. Yeah, so these are Iran. These are images from Iran. I feel like it's around the 1930s. Apparently there was a brief period of time between them being colonized and controlled by England, by Britain, by the UK. And then they had a little bit of time where they were allowed to be themselves, and that's what this documents. And then America came in, right? So 1930s, what year is it now? Gosh, I'm not very good with time because I'm ancient, right? If I live with past life memories. Oh, I'm not talking about this life, by the way, when I say that. Yeah. And then, of course, there's ancestral wisdom that comes through, you know. Oh, speaking of which, let's wait till someone comes into the room. Come on, YouTube. Let them through. Come on now. Don't be scared, YouTube. What else have we got on here? These images are so beautiful. Ooh, gorgeous. Look at that. So beautiful. So gorgeous. I'll just wait till someone comes into the room. Because who wants to be in the echo chamber, right? Oh. You right out there? Oh, I'm going to zoom in. I don't want to offend anybody with my vessel. Come on, YouTube, let them through. I think I've got like 400 followers now here at Codes of Harmony. Maybe I'll have to come back in, make a different video. Bayami, Sky Father of my people, I pray for peace across the Middle East. Rejecting all projections. Although a lot of people will be paying with their lives, right? I pray for protection and peace between the leaders of the Middle East. I pray that they realize and know that they do not need the West. They should not aim to be like the West. They should not aim to be like or align themselves with America. The state of America, I mean. Oh, state? Oh, sorry, that's what you say when you talk about Israel, isn't it? Oh. Hey, what you barking at? Hey? What is it? Someone trying to interrupt? Come here, sweetheart. Come on. Let's see if we can save the world. Come on. Oh, what was I saying before about Pakistan? Yeah, so I didn't actually realize that America ever bombed Pakistan. Not India, Pakistan. I didn't realize that happened, especially under the same repeated excuse or whatever you want to call it about them having those things of MASS. It's funny because mass is like mass, like en masse, but then there's also like in church, right? Like going to mass. Is that right? I saw a pen in my mind's eye because that's one of my gifts as a clairvoyant. Ooh, come on, YouTube. Let them through. Come on now. I keep thinking about this film called Fievel Goes West. It was this cartoon I saw when I was little. I think I need to find that. Maybe it's on YouTube. Ooh. Okay, guys, we'll call this a part one. Yeah. It's about it. About it. You get clear messages, right? It's funny because a long time ago there were things like where it was more like the church had the power and the church or the priests would set themselves, and going back far enough, priestesses, right? Would say that they are the bridge, the voice of the messenger from God, you know. But apparently, churches have much lower numbers these days. That doesn't mean that there's not praying and connecting in with God, just the actual going to the actual churches. But that also has to do with a lot of legal stuff that's come up around them. Ooh, 70 minutes in. There's also this story called Cassandra. That's a Greek mythology. And let's not forget the fact that like the whole witch trial thing, right? I guess that's really got a lot to do with why people still try. A lot of people, not everyone, not believe the sages or listen to the magic beings. And then I have noticed a lot of Christians or a lot of church going people will say witch like it's a slur, like it's almost like a racial slur. And I'm always like, you all don't understand there are good witches and bad witches. I mean, obviously, right? And then I think some people watch tarot readings or divination just for their own purposes. Um, or maybe just listen to it because it's comforting. For me, listening to other tarot readers, other divination, it gives me messages like and confirmations about what we're picking up in the collective, the larger collective. But it also helps me channel messages myself. It's very interesting. Maybe it also has something to do with blocking out EMFs, you know. Okay, well, no one seems in the room. Damn it. I wonder how long you can do YouTube readings for. There's this other tarot reader. She does like 4 hours, 5-hour tarot reading. How about that? Just that. Frozen. When your heart's not open. So this is the High Priestess. If you know tarot, you might recognize this image. Well, I guess maybe the YouTube machine is broken, or the 400 followers that I have here. I think 400. Is it 400? Haven't been shared this video. Maybe, I don't know. Is my internet working? Yeah, it's working. Yeah, let's make this a part 1. Okay, see you again real soon. Also, oh, did I mention that? Oh no,